about more than these elections. Tomorrow is about who Florida is. This is not about right and left. This is about right and wrong. It's about yesterday or tomorrow. And I got to tell you this. I just came from the University of Louisville in Kentucky. And we're out there, and there are thousands of people out there, all these college students. And right there on the lawn, there is a massive copy of Rodin's sculpture, The Thinker. So I pointed it out. I said, here we are at the university. You see that? That's the real problem in this election. People aren't doing enough of that.
That's right. That's right.
This is, honest to goodness, this is the most fact-free election I've ever been involved in my life.
That's right.
What you have to decide is whether you are going to be a state of the future or a tribal enclave of people fighting each other. When you voted for me in 1996, I knew you were going to be a state of the future. When you voted in 2000, I knew you were going to be a state of the future. Now just look, let's just talk about this. We can't be fact-free. You know, but I want to tell you all, this is a great crowd. Looking around here, this is Florida's future. Look at this crowd. All ages, all races, all different kinds of people. I want to tell you something about these polls. They're all based on a theory of who's going to vote.
Yeah.
And the theory is that the vote tomorrow will not look like this crowd tonight.
That's right.
The theory is that the vote tomorrow will reflect a 25% drop in the overall numbers from the presidential election. That's fairly standard. Except they expect a 35% drop in the Latino vote, a 40% drop in the African American vote, and a 55% drop in the 25 and under vote. That's not Florida. Florida would have everybody voting the same, and if it happens, everybody on this platform is going to be elected tomorrow. If that happens, you have to decide. You represent the future. Not right and left, right and wrong, tomorrow versus yesterday.
That's right.
Now look at this Senate race. Let me just say a few things here.
Say it, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
The Tea Party. First, let's just talk about the Tea Party. Wait. There was a really touching article in the paper sometime in the last week about these two ladies that started the Tea Party crowd in Georgia. I don't know if you saw it. One of them had been a flight attendant. Another one was a small business person. They'd fallen on hard times. And it was really touching. They were outraged about the bailout. Who wasn't? Right? I'm telling you, who wasn't? You think that then Senator Obama and Senator McCain wanted to vote for that thing? It made them sick. When I started working in Haiti and with former President Bush, he told me it's the only bill he ever signed that made him sick. Nobody wanted it. They did it. Not to help Wall Street, but because the biggest car dealer in America stopped financing cars, and it was about to get to where you couldn't buy a refrigerator on credit. But it makes you sick because all the money went back to those big banks that caused the meltdown in New York.
And they all have
and
big
everybody else is still in
bonuses.
trouble, and they're making money again.
That's right.
So I get that.
That ain't right.
But let's just look at the record. These Tea Party people, they say, what do they want? They say they want balanced budgets, lower taxes, more jobs, smaller government.
Sounds like Bill Clinton.
Well, if this were a fact-based election, they'd look at the last 28 years before all this happened, and they'd see that in the 8 years I had the privilege to serve, we had more jobs than in the other 20 years. In the other 20 years. That literally 100 times as many Americans worked their way from poverty into the middle class in those 8 years as in the other 20 years. That the only 4 balanced budgets occurred in those 20 years. That the government was smaller when I left office than it had been since 1960 when Dwight Eisenhower was president and John Kennedy was elected. And bigger on both sides. Where is the love? I ought to be the Tea Party's poster child. The reason I'm telling you this is not a fact-based election. Let's just look at the facts. Take the Senate race. What do we need? What do you want in Florida in a senator and a governor? You want to build a 21st century economy with real jobs that have opportunity for the middle class and allow people to send their kids to college.